Raindrops to rainbow. Blip blop, blip blop, blip blip blop. Will these raindrops ever stop? I want a calm, clear, blue sky day so I can go outside and play. I miss the yellow summer sun. I miss the laughter, miss the fun. Now I stare out at the rain. My breath fogs up the window pane. The sky is damp and dull and gray, with more dark rain clouds on the way. Rumbling, rolling, scary thunder, grab green blanket, scramble under. Find brown bear and hold him tight, try to chase away my fright. White lightning streaks across the skies, I duck my head and close my eyes. Mom gives bear and me a hug, I feel safer, I feel snug. Mom makes up a game she calls, count each blue raindrop as it falls. No way, I say, I can't be down. Mom smiles, let's try, it could be fun. 1 drop, 2 drop, 1,000, millions, maybe 6 or 8 gazillion. Raindrops splash down to the ground, make gray puddles all around. Mom makes soup for us to eat, and orange slices what a treat. Look outside, the clouds are clearing. First I am smiling, then I am cheering. Pull red rain boots on our feet, find some puddles by the street. Stomp, 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 those puddles dry, then I look up at the sky. Beaming rainbow, bold and bright, brilliant colors, what a sight! 7 stripes, I know each one, and I named them just for fun. I see violet, then indigo, 5 more colors left to go. Blue and green stripes cross the skies, so bright I have to shade my eyes. Yellow, orange, then comes red, 7 colors overhead. Reach for the rainbow, bright and white, then it is time to go inside. When I'm climbing to bed, I'm glad, thinking of the day we have had. I don't mind rain because I know without raindrops there is no rainbow. Daniel knows all the rocks, trees, and animals in the park. On Monday morning, Daniel sees something new on the park gate. A sign reads, Poetry in the Park, Sunday at 6 o'clock. What is poetry? Daniel says. He looks up in surprise when he hears Spider say, To me, poetry is when morning dew glistens. On Tuesday, Daniel climbs the old oak tree. He sees squirrel. Squirrel, do you know what poetry is? Poetry is when crisp leaves crunch, Squirrel tells him. On Wednesday, Daniel calls into Chipmunk's hole. Chipmunk, can you tell me what poetry is? Poetry? Poetry is a home with many windows in an old stone wall. On Thursday, Daniel makes a boat with a leaf for a sail and watches the wind carry it across the pond. He calls quietly to Frog. Excuse me, Frog, what is poetry? Poetry, says Frog, is a cool pool to dive into. On Friday, Daniel parts the cattails and finds Turtle. Hello, Turtle, I have a question. Do you know what poetry is? I think poetry is sound-warmed sand, Turtle says. On Saturday afternoon, Daniel finds Cricket in the shade of the slab. When the shadows are long, Cricket fills the air with music. Is this poetry to you, Cricket? Singing at twilight when the day is done? Indeed, it is, Daniel. That night, moonlight fills Daniel's room. He hears a whoo. Leaning from his window, he calls to all. All, what is poetry? Oh, poetry. Poetry is bright stars in the branches, moonlight on the grass, and silent wings to take me wherever I go. "Good night, dear Daniel," she whispers, and flies off into the night. On Sunday, the sun wakes up Daniel. He is happy when he remembers it's Sunday. "Today is poetry in a park," says Daniel, "and I have a poem." Morning dew glistens, crisp leaves crunch. There is a home with many windows in the old stone wall. Cool pools to dive in, sun-warm sand to lie in, singing at twilight when the day is done. Bright stars in the branches, moonlight on the grass, and the silent wings to take me wherever I go. On the way home, Daniel stops to watch the sunset sky reflecting in the pond. "That looks like poetry to me." "To me too," says Dragonfly. Maya was grumpy. She didn't know why she was grumpy. She was just in a crispy, cranky, grumpy, grouchy mood. She didn't want to read or color or eat banana chips or wear her favorite shorts or go outside and play. The only thing Maya wanted to do was grouch around the house and share her bad mood. She grumped into Grandma's room and snarled at the cat. He just stretched and went back to sleep. She glumped into the living room and made faces at some birds. They just flew away. She clumped into the kitchen and grumbled at her brothers. They just gulped their food around. Finally, Maya thumped up behind Grandma and growled as loudly as she could. "Feeling a bit grumpy today?" Grandma asked. Maya just called. "Well then," said Grandma, "I guess that means no hunting for hippos after breakfast." "I never hunt for hippos," Maya grouched. "And no putting your head in a crocodile's mouth before lunch." "That's just silly," Maya grumbled. "Bathing baby elephants would probably be a bad idea today if you are grumpy," Grandma said. Maya rolled her eyes. "Certainly no tickling tarantulas until they giggle," Grandma added. Maya shook her head. A tingle in her belly tickled all the way up to her mouth, but she squeezed her lips into a tight line. "I did have plans to slide down the neck of a giraffe later," Grandma explained, "but I guess we can reschedule." Maya felt a wiggle reach the corners of her frown. "And definitely no swinging with monkeys today if you are grumpy." A bubbly giggle escaped through Maya's lips. "Swinging with monkeys might be nice," she said. And she gave Grandma a big hug. Grandma packed a snack and fixed Maya's hair. Then they all went outside to find the hippos, crocodiles, elephants, tarantulas, giraffes, and monkeys. And Maya felt much better. The wish tree. Charles wanted to find a wish tree. His brother said there is no such thing. His sister said there is no such thing. But Charles said, "What do you think, Bogan?" And Bogan thought surely there was a such thing. So the next morning Charles and Bogan set forth. His brother said, "Bring a map." His sister said, "Don't forget a compass." But Charles and Bogan were already well on their way into the woods. "La-di-da-di-da-da-da," sang Charles. "Wish," sang Bogan. They had the whole day ahead of them, the whole day to find a wish tree. Up to the top of a hill they climbed, and down to a forest meadow they slid. Where Charles went, Bogan followed. Where Bogan went, Charles followed. Charles and Bogan didn't see the wish tree, but they did see Squirrel, who was puzzling over how to get some hazelnuts to his home. "La-di-da-di-da-da-da," sang Charles. "Wish," sang Bogan. Slow, slow through the snow they went, and hush, hush, past bears then they crept. Where Charles went, Bogan followed. Where Bogan went, Charles followed. They didn't see a wish tree anywhere, but they did see Beaver, who was busy gathering birch wood to bring to his lodge. La-di-da-di-da-di-da, sang Charles. Wish, said Bogan. Slide, glide across the ice, they slipped past a few logs and around the bed. Where Charles went, Bogan followed. Where Bogan went, Charles followed. The wish tree was nowhere to be found, but they did find Fox, who was late getting berries to her burrow. La-di-da-di-da-di-da, sang Charles. Wish, said Bogan. Now they had less than half the day ahead of them, less than half the day to find a wish tree. We may need to move a little faster, Bogan, said Charles. Charles and Bogan were moving very slowly now. Their shadows were growing longer. The whole day was almost behind them. Bogan, Charles said, I am tired. I can't search any longer. Shh, whispered Bogan. When Charles awoke, it was snowing. It was snowing on Squirrel, it was snowing on Beaver, it was snowing on Fox, and it was snowing on everyone. For a moment Charles couldn't see through the falling snow, but then he said, Oh, look. See, Bogan, said Charles, just as we thought. And Bogan said, Wish. Charles wrote his wish on a piece of paper and tied it around the branch of the wish tree. The snow was falling more gently now. The animals had prepared a night feast with a hazelnut souffle, a pot of birch tea, and biscuits made of berries. Charles and Bogan celebrated with their friends until it was time to be on their way. The moon was glowing brightly. La-di-da-di-da-di-da, sang Charles. Wish, sang Bogan, all the way home. I know a monkey. I know a small monkey who comes to see me. A brown furry monkey as cute as can be. There are many things that monkey can do, like baking a cake and building things too. He loves to dress up in a jumble of hats that he piles on his head, which scares off the cats. Try as I might, not a word does he say. My little friend Monkey just likes to play. Monkey is nimble and does lots of tricks, like balancing gods and juggling sticks. He makes me laugh, giggle and squawk, but nothing I do can get him to talk. I don't really mind though, because it is such fun to play with a monkey until day is done. He can stand on his toes on a tip of rake, make chocolate chip cookies, and keep owls awake. Monkey is clever. He solves very hard sums. He loves to hear music and play on the drums. Although my small monkey does not choose to speak, he's still my best friend at the end of the week. When evening falls and it is time to tuck in, I whisper, I love you, and snuggle with him. Night, night, forest friends. Papa Rabbit whispers hush and tucks his babies into beds of brush. In their den so safe and deep, bears rock their tiny cub to sleep. Mama Doe kisses her sleepy fawns, who curl up with enormous yawns. In a hole all warm and snug, the squirrels share a bedtime hug. Nestled high above the ground, robins rest safe and sound. Huddled under faint moonlight, little wood frogs snuggle tight. Deep beneath the forest floor, chipmunks softly snooze and snore. Foxes let out weary sighs, stretch their paws, and close their eyes. The woods are hushed, there's not a peep. Our forest friends are fast asleep. Up above with glowing eyes, an owl hoots a lullaby. Ooh. A home under the stars. Toby didn't want to move to the city. He missed his old home. He missed climbing trees, taking quiet walks, and playing hide and seek in the garden. Most of all, Toby missed seeing the stars before bedtime. He searched the night sky for the North Star, but he couldn't see any stars in the city. His parents tried to help. Let's make our own stars. No, shouted Toby. It is not the same. Without the stars, Toby couldn't sleep. From inside his closet, a voice growled. I can't sleep either. Oh, Toby exclaimed, a lion. I need to find the North Star, the lion said. I'm lost without it to guide me home. Don't be sad, said Toby. I'll help you. The stars must be here somewhere, Toby said. Together they searched for the North Star. Do you hear that noise? Asked the lion. Someone was crying. What's wrong? Asked Toby. I am lost, said the unicorn, and the city makes me feel small. Come with us, Toby said. We are looking for the North Star, the lion added. It can show you the way home. As they searched the city, they found more lost animals. I can't remember what home looks like anymore, said the hare. I miss my friends, said the ram. The city is so noisy, said the eagle. It scares me. Everything is different here, said the giraffe. Nothing feels right. Let's look for the North Star together, said Toby. It will guide you all home. But after searching all night, the lion became tired. We've looked everywhere, the lion said. What if we never find the North Star? Please, don't give up, said Toby. I can't do this alone. Suddenly, all the sounds of the city stopped. A deep rumble echoed down the streets. Hello, Toby called. Is someone there? A dragon lurched out of the shadows and roared. The city shook. Toby froze, and then he saw something shimmer. Wait, he shouted. A broken star was blocking the dragon's throat. Let me help you, Toby said. Thank you, the dragon bellowed. As stars shot into the sky, everyone cheered. You found the North Star. Toby joined them as they followed the star all the way home. Toby looked out at the stars and his eyes grew heavy. If I go home, will I still be able to see you? He asked. You may not be able to see us, said the lion, but we'll always be here for you. That night, under the light of Toby's stars, the city changed. A silly goose's big story. Goose made up great stories. His friends would always beg him, Tell us a story, Goose. One day Goose said, Once upon a time, there were fierce pirates. Soon they were sailing the seven seas together looking for treasures. And Goose was the captain, the fiercest of all. Another day Goose said, Once upon a time they were scary dinosaurs. Soon they were roaming the earth together, hunting and growling. And naturally, Goose was a T-Rex, the scariest of all. Then another day Goose said, Once upon a time there were a mighty king. Soon they were marching through towns and hills together, conquering the world. And who got to play the king? The mightiest of all. Why, Goose, of course. Wait a minute, Goose, said Beaver. You always play the hero. Why can't we take turns? Yeah, said Porcupine. I'd like to be hero sometime. Me too, said Squirrel. No way, said Goose. I always play the hero. Come on, keep marching. That's selfish, said his friends. But Goose wouldn't give in. They are my stories, so I am the hero, he insisted. They were so busy arguing, they didn't notice that someone was listening. Suddenly, a big wolf shouted, "Hello, lunch!" They all screamed and ran, but poor Goose tripped on his royal cape. Wolf scooped him up in an instant. "So, you are the hero, huh?" Wolf chuckled. "More like a hero sandwich to me." Goose was in a big trouble. He had to think fast. Finally, he had an idea. "Mr. Wolf," Goose said, "I am glad I found you. You are in great danger." "Is that so?" Wolf laughed. "How?" "Well, I'll tell you." Goose began the biggest story he ever told. "Once upon a time, there were thousands of happy wolves living on this mountain." "Uh-huh," said Wolf. "Then, one day, what's his name? Oh yeah, Wham showed up," said Goose. "Wham? Who is that?" "Oh, Wham is short for wolf-eating monster." Goose continued. "He used to wander around saying, 'Yum, yum, I smell a wolf.' And when he found one, he popped it into his mouth like a peanut." "You are lying," said Wolf, but he looked worried. "It is true, Mr. Wolf," said Goose. "Do you see thousands of wolves here? And this is the worst part. Wham is back." Just at that moment, the tree started to shake and they heard loud footsteps in the distance. "What is that?" said Wolf. Soon spikes of hair appeared above the treetops. "It couldn't be," said Wolf. Then a deep voice bellowed, "Yum, yum, I smell a wolf." "It's them!" cried Wolf. He dropped Goose like a hot potato and took off running. He never looked back. Phew! Goose was relieved, but not for long. Something big was coming his way. It was getting closer and closer. Then from behind the trees there came his ferocious-looking friends. "Yum, yum, I smell a wolf." They were still growling together. Goose shuddered with relief. "Oh, you guys, you are them." "Yup, I shook the trees," said Squirrel. "The footsteps were me slapping my tail," said Beaver. "I was Wham's hair," said Porcupine. "Hey, you know what?" said Beaver, shouted suddenly. "We finally got to play the heroes." "Play the heroes?" cried Goose. "You are the heroes. You saved me." "Tell us another story, Goose," the friends begged as they walked home. "Okay, I've got a good one," said Goose. Once upon a time, there was a silly goose who had the three greatest friends in the world. A color of his own. The sad chameleon has a problem. Unlike all the other animals, he has no color of his own. Changing wherever he goes, he turns red with the autumn leaves and black in the long dark winter. But in the spring, in a green grass, he finds a delightful solution. Parrots are green, goldfish are red, elephants are gray, pigs are pink. All animals have a color of their own, except for chameleons. They change color wherever they go. On lemons, they are yellow. In the heather, they are purple, and on the tiger, they have stripes like tigers. One day, a chameleon who was sitting on a tiger's tail said to himself, "If I remain on a leaf, I shall be green forever, and so I too will have a color of my own." With this thought, he cheerfully climbed onto the greenest leaf. But in the autumn, the leaf turned yellow, and so did the chameleon. Later, the leaf turned red, and the chameleon too turned red. And then the winter winds blew the leaf from the branch, and with it the chameleon. The chameleon was black in the long winter night. But when spring came, he walked out into the green grass, and there he met another chameleon. He told his sad story. "Won't we ever have a color of our own?" he asked. "I'm afraid not," said the other chameleon, who was older and wiser. "But," he added, "why don't we stay together? We will still change color, but wherever we go, but you and I will always be alike. And so they remained side by side. They were green together, and purple, and yellow, and red with the white polka dots, and they lived happily ever after. Just like my brother. Now it is your turn to hide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ready or not, here I come. Good morning, Turtle. Have you seen my brother? He is tall. You are tall. Not as tall as my brother. Howdy, you zebras. Have you seen my brother? He has lots of spots. You have lots of spots. My spots are not as big as my brother's spots. Hey, warthogs, have you seen my brother? He's really fast. You are really fast too. Not as fast as my brother. Pardon me, flamingos. Have you seen my brother? He is very brave. You, without a doubt, are just as brave. Most definitely. I am? As brave as my brother? I'll ask the elephants. They know everything. Excuse me, elephants. Do you think I am as brave as my brother? Watch out behind you. Roar. Oh, it is you, leopard. I'm in the middle of hide and seek. What do you want? I was just going to say what a tall, fast, brave giraffe you are. I am? I am. Just like my brother.